Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Ashley from Grace and Goods Boutique.
And I'm Shelby from the Aria Vet Studio.
And this is the Business Bestie Podcast.
Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Today is a special day. We have Craig with us today. He's the first male to be on the show, so it's super exciting.
Hopefully not last.
Yeah, hopefully not.
So me and Craig worked together for a little while. That's how we've met, but he has been on a new journey with his life. So we're excited to talk about that. Can you kind of introduce your business?
Yeah, so I just started kind of in May, so just a few months ago. What I do is high impact leadership in a second tier of marketing. So my passion, my fulfillment is leadership, changing lives for the better. And I kind of know a little bit about marketing, so I kind of throw that in there too. But that's kind of what I do in a nutshell.
And what is your business called?
Yeah, it's called Iron Arc Strategy. And if we want to get high level, we can later on how I came up with that, but Iron Arc Strategy. Yeah.
Awesome.
Very cool. So, obviously, elephant in the room here. Season 1 was all women, and we've talked a lot about being moms and wives and things like that on our show. But as a male, how do you aim to empower women to feel confident in starting their own business?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I treat people differently regardless of gender. There's many successful business owners that are women, more successful than I am. I am a startup and I am starving right now, to be honest with you. So I have a lot to learn. We can learn from each other. You mentioned being a mom. I resonate with being a father. I have 4 kids, 5 years and younger, and it's a challenge. It's always a balancing act, in my opinion. So whether you're a male or a female, I don't think it matters. I think it matters your priorities in life and your foundation, and how you balance that act.
I love that. So in what ways do you feel like your business contributes to that mission or can support women in their journey if they come to you for your services?
Yeah, if they came to me specifically, I just treat them like anybody else, but again, what I do is more leadership oriented. So if someone, I've been there, I've had the gut, the knot in the stomach and the stress, and I was working 60 to 80 hours a week, and I lost sight of my foundation. I wasn't home, and there's a lot of shame and guilt that comes to that, and now I'm making up for lost time. So I'm home more often, I'm around my kids more often, I'm around my wife more often, and really what I want to try to do is, when you're a business owner, the typical person works 90,000 hours a week. You can double that or triple that if you're a business owner. Let's just put it out there. It's a lot of work if you choose to make it that way. And what I want to do is peel back the layers and bring people slowly back to their foundation at their own pace. I think you kind of have to meet people where they're at, so you can't just say, stop, bring you back to here.
Yeah.
But I want to help support female business owners. And if you're stressed, if you're worried about how to pay your bills, if your business development or infrastructure is falling apart, well, I kind of know a little bit about business. I'm not an expert, I'll never be the best, but I can meet you where you're at, and then we can slowly peel back the layers and get you where you want to be.
I love that you have young kids and are also a business owner, because again, a lot of us and a lot of women are moms, and we're out here with young kids trying to be business owners and things like that. So I love that you kind of would have that in common with women business owners that are also moms and wives. I think that helps when you can kind of speak to them also on their level.
Definitely. My wife stays home. She has stayed home for the last 4 years plus, and I'd rather go to work any day.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. So I can only imagine being a female business owner and a mom, the challenges that face and the stress, and the mom guilt. It's a real thing.
It is.
Sure. So going into the mom guilt, I mean, is there dad guilt?
Yeah, I lived it. I lived it. That's why I quit my job. I was working way too much, and I was coveting money and rank and maybe a little bit of fame, if you want to call it that. Fort Wayne famous.
Yeah. I know you when you walk in somewhere.
Yeah, and I lost sight of, again, my foundation. I use that word a lot because I live it, and I've been there. I understand, and that's why I created my business, is to help shield people from that guilt and that shame, and not waking up when you're about to retire or you're having a midlife crisis and you're like, I need to reinvent the wheel and pull a 360-degree turn here. It's let's nip it in the bud. Let's chip away now.
Yeah.
You know, it's never too early to start, but we can lose focus in the busyness and the chaos of this earthly life.
Yeah, it's very easy.
So with talking about struggling to balance everything, I know as a business owner, especially for us women, we want to get everything done, like check all the check marks off the list. How do you balance that out? Do you have any strategies or things you do at home to like separate business Craig from family Craig?
I think that's a good question. I think when you die, you'll still have things in your inbox. You're never gonna accomplish everything.
Yeah.
You're just not, and that's the reality. So why do we hurry up every day and try to get everything done? When we rush, we make mistakes, and we post something on social media, and then we find grammar issues and spelling issues or whatever.
That's the worst.
I know. I've just accepted that that's actually just my life, and somebody will text me and tell me I spelled something wrong.
Luckily, there's ChatGPT that fixes and the edit button or the delete button. I use the delete button very frequently. But no matter how big or small the mistake, it's a postage stamp in the grand scheme of things. And I think not taking things too seriously is important. But you mentioned kind of work Craig and home Craig. I think you have to have your foundation, your purpose set. So my personal purpose, it took me 37 years to figure this out. I'm a little embarrassed to say that. I'll turn 38 next month. My purpose in life is to get to heaven, get my family to heaven, as many people as I can closer to that goal. That's my purpose for this life. Now I can do that without a job or a business. I can stand on the corner and shake Bibles at people. Is that the most effective way? Probably not. So my business is catered around my purpose. So if I have to find a job to supplement my business, which I'm actually doing right now, I'm gonna find a job that's purposeful and I can carry out my life purpose. My business is very centered in my life purpose. So I don't switch hats. It's just I'm in a different environment and I have to act accordingly. If I'm talking to a female business owner, I'm gonna not change my purpose or my hat specifically. It's just the environment versus when I'm talking to my 2-year-old at home.
Yeah.
The purpose is still the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. So kind of getting into where you've come from, working your way up in someone else's company. I know you got pretty high up in that. How did that experience shape or prepare you for starting your own business?
It helped out a lot. I'm a military guy. I was in the Army infantry for 5 years, so I like structure. My mentality, my mind does well with structure. So working within someone else's organization gave me some structure and a framework, and it taught me a lot of tools on how to do things. I had many great leaders where I used to work, and you learn just as much from bad leaders as good ones.
Absolutely.
And so I learned a lot. I had a lot of good relationships, and I think as a private business owner, if you're sole business owner, you don't have any employees like I do, it can get a little lonely sometimes. And structure is not always there depending on your mindset.
Right.
So I think I learned a lot to work up the courage to start my own business. And I kind of learned over time, over 10 years of working at my last company, that I want to be a lone wolf, but I also need people around me.
Exactly. I know we talk a lot about how being a business owner, even if you do have employees, is lonely because all the weight is on your shoulders and you aren't able to kind of pass that along a lot of times too, again, even if you have employees. So we're big into building that circle so that way, hey, on a Thursday at 4 o'clock, you're like, I'm losing my mind.
What
do I do?
Who places that weight on your shoulders? It's you.
Yeah, exactly.
No one else is putting that weight on it. So it's a self-imposed weight. Have I had to just because I started a company and have a purpose and a vision doesn't mean it's like taking off. It's not. I have some clients, not as many as I need or would like, but who imposed that purpose? What is success? As a business owner, you can define what that success is versus working for somebody. You're working in someone else's organization, and and they're defining success.
Mhm.
As business owners, we can define what that success looks like, and that's kind of powerful
It is.
if you can wrap your head around it
We
and
touched
define
on
it.
that.
Yeah.
Last episode, we said, just because you're not making millions or, you know, you're not scaling as big as the next person, if you are supplementing your family and replacing that 9 to 5 and giving yourself freedom, that is success.
Mhm.
Success is the eye of the beholder, right?
Yes.
And I think I had struggles at first with my business because I was defining my success off of a multi-million-dollar
Mhm.
company, and I'm like, of 100 employees or whatever it
Right,
was,
right.
and now it's just me. So it's like,
You kind of have to like teach yourself, like what is successful now for you? What does that mean? Like being
Yeah.
home with your family, that's
It goes back to the
successful.
purpose.
Yeah.
It goes back to the purpose. I don't need to make money to get to heaven.
Mhm.
I don't. It's an earthly goal. But I do have a vocation of being a father and a husband and providing for them. I don't need the Maserati anymore. Those days have passed.
Yeah.
I shop at Sam's Club.
Yeah.
And thrift. Like, I live a simple life.
Yeah.
Right? So there was a saint named Saint Onobonus, and he lived a long time ago, but he was extremely wealthy business owner. But he lived underneath his means. He gave all his wealth away.
Mhm.
And he went to daily mass, church daily, and he literally died on his knees in prayer. What a beautiful way to go,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? So I think like success, and we're defining it, and going back to your question about like, how did working someone in other organization build you up? Well, I built myself up, and I built the company up, but it was a weird distortion of success because I was living in someone else's dream,
Mhm.
right? It wasn't my dream. And when I quit, I stepped away from buying this company with 2 other partners. It was like a 300-pound backpack I just took off. I felt so free.
Mhm.
I felt so good. And I rode that for a little bit. And then the reality of, shoot, I gotta pay my bills.
Yeah. Now what?
Now what? So full transparency, like, I'm not quitting on my business, but it may turn into a side hustle right now.
Mhm.
Because there's no playbook. You can talk to, I got beat up. I went and met with 6 prominent business owners in Fort Wayne, gave them my business plan, and I got beat up. They literally told me, like, you will not survive.
Yeah.
And it made me angry, but it focused me so much more, and it helped me strategize. But again, those are their definitions of success, not mine. And they started someday too, and it was rough for them.
Yeah.
They just don't remember it.
Right.
Right? So I am looking for a full-time job, maybe part-time job to supplement income right now, because there's no playbook of starting a business.
Mhm.
There is none.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Yeah.
I did that too. I'm
Right.
still kind of in that a little bit. It's okay for it to be slow. It's okay for it to be the side hustle at first.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, I kind of just went in the deep end, and you can do that. You can go in the deep end and then find like, okay, I got to figure this out.
Yeah.
I need another job, or you can do the safe way and have the other job and start your side hustle.
Mhm.
There's no right or wrong answer.
There's not. And some people are maybe financially in a place where they can jump
They
off
can
the
do
deep
that,
end
yeah.
and they can kind of drown a little longer than maybe
Yes.
near you. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So getting a little bit deeper into the faith-driven
Let's get deep.
aspect of you leaving a multi-million-dollar company, because most people, your average Joe, would look at you and say, what are you thinking? You're crazy.
It's my wife did.
Yeah, so there had to be some kind of very deep spiritual reason there. Can you kind of dig into that a little bit more?
How much time we got? So high level, and my tagline is authenticity, humility, vulnerability. So if anybody really wants to know, I'm happy to share. So I was in the military for 5 years, and I was in Iraq 15 months. I just recently got diagnosed with PTSD, and I should have known some of the warning signs. I think we'll touch maybe on addiction later, but I had like night terrors, night sweats, sleep paralysis, for years, and it's like, oh, this is just a Craig thing. And then I got hit with this PTSD diagnosis, and I was like, this makes sense.
Yeah.
So what happened is I used to be on like 5 medications and very high dosages just to keep a Band-Aid on for Craig to operate. And I was operating at a high level, but I found a new doctor and he stripped me from all my meds, put me on 2 powerful medications. One was an anti-seizure medication and one was a mood stabilizer. And it takes a while for meds to kick in, like 4 to 6 weeks. So it got a little hairy. So I kind of mentioned that I have extreme dreams and night terrors, and I have for years. Well, the last profound dream I had since I've been on this new medication, my head started getting numb to my toes. And it was like the old school TV. Turn the TV on, and it was like fuzz, and then a bright, bright, bright light. And a man's voice said, "I will return when we have one united church." And it came in green lettering like an arc. I mentioned that my business name is Iron Arc Strategy. Iron sharpens iron, I have that tattoo. Arc for the lettering and how it came and presented. On my card, on my original logo, I've already changed it. On my original logo, I have my logo and it's white around it, like my dream, and then there's speckled dots all around it. And I created my company off of that vision. And the specks and the dots are sin, drama, tension, workplace issues, whatever it is. And my job goes back to that purpose of getting my family and myself to heaven, and as many people as I can, one step closer. So I want to remove a speck at a time. That's why I created Iron Arc Strategy.
You want to help other business owners
Back with their
remove all
foundation.
that background noise that's kind of
Exactly.
inhibiting them.
And I'm not trying to, I was atheist most of my life. I'm not trying to convert people or anything like that. But someday I'm gonna be working with a client and they're gonna say, "What's your secret sauce? Is it supplements? Is it sleep? Is it diet? Is it exercise?" I'm like, "Do you really wanna know? Do you really wanna know?" It's my faith. And then I planted the seed. I already met with a business owner that was lost with faith. And I saw on social media that he had a higher power after we met.
That's awesome.
He didn't sign with me, I made $0, but I felt fulfilled.
Yeah.
I accomplished my mission.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's very similar to my mission. Like if I get one woman to maybe open their Bible or go to church, like that's awesome. That's we said, how do you define success? That is success
for you.
me.
Yeah. So I know we kind of talked a little bit about this, but taking the leap from a steady paycheck and being able to support your family to the uncertainty of entrepreneurship, what helped you know that it was the right time to do that? I know Ashley's kind of in that process right now of kind of going back and forth, when is the right time? I made that decision 6 years ago when I started my first business, and it was very hard. I had support at home, but what for you was kind of that moment where you were like, okay, this is where I'm gonna do this?
Secretly, I've been dreaming about quitting my job for years because of the shame and the guilt of not being home. I fantasized about it. And then I took a 16-week course. I'm a certified work with purpose coach. And I took this course, and the majority of people that take the course quit their job. And my work paid for it. Well, I ended up quitting my job.
Yeah.
I didn't quit immediately, but it opened up the door to start processing and working up the courage. And in my manic state, I'll call it that, I got stripped from my meds. I mean, there was a lot of chemical changes, and I had that vision, that dream, whatever you want to call it. I had that dream. I woke up the next day, I created the logo. I wanted to see that every day, and then I quit my job. It took a leap of faith.
Leap of faith.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
I know a lot of people, I feel like a lot of business owners, where it kind of does start as a side hustle, it's hard to know, like, can I do this? Can I move forward? When do I take that jump? And I liked how you said earlier, like, if you take that jump, it's okay to realize in 3 months, like, hey, I might need to like go get a part-time job. I actually met with some women on Wednesday, and we were kind of talking about that, and many of them said, like, yeah, it's okay to kind of have to pedal backwards and keep this as your side hustle for now. It doesn't mean any less.
There's no shame in being honest with yourself and honest with others. I mean, I did the dreaded open to work frame on LinkedIn, and I shared it on Facebook. You know, I have humility. I had a vision, I had a plan. Was it the most laid out plan? No. I think you have to be a little crazy to be a business owner.
You do.
And the more success you have, you become less crazy to the people around you.
Yes.
But my wife, I love her to death. She thought I was crazy.
Yeah.
My old doctor thought I was crazy. People at my old company thought I was crazy. My family's like, uh-oh, Craig's going on the defense. Here we go again, right? How many times have we seen this? So I think you have to be a little bit of crazy. Looking back now, we're not meant to change things. There's a perfect plan for all of us, and we have to sometimes revise plans. That's why there's an eraser on the back of the pencil.
I'm also big on having multiple streams of income. So if that means getting a side hustle here, or a part-time job here, or maybe creating multiple business ideas or whatever.
Yeah.
Why do you have to put yourself in a box?
Yeah.
Like, we don't
Well, the
have to do
smartest
that.
business owners do have like 7 streams of
Yeah.
income, so
Exactly.
we're just all working our way to that.
Yeah.
Start playing the lotto.
Yeah, I mean, whatever that stream of income has to be.
Being a business owner, obviously, a lot of people look at the success side of that as making money, and obviously being one, you have to make money. That's just part of it. How do you keep or integrate your faith and your values in that and not sell your soul?
Since I left the old practice I was at, that we were at back in the day, I've had 2 competitors reach out already to pay me, and they were willing to pay me really good money to do what I was doing there, and I said no, because I refused to tear down something I built up. So I've had those conversations, you know, of taking money right there and providing when my business necessarily wasn't taking off, because I've been in business 2 months. So I've had those moral dilemmas, but I think you have to be genuine and with yourself, number one, and then with your marketing too. Like, I can do paid ads and I can sell, but that's not what Iron Heart strategy is about. If it takes me years to build up the clients that I need to provide solely for my business, I'm gonna do it that way. I don't wanna taint my business model and the vision I have. I'm willing to wait, you know? So I think sometimes we get in such a hurry with these earthly goals and these financial things, but depending on whatever your purpose is, I don't need money for my purpose, but I do need money to provide. So there's that balancing act. I had to dip into wealth. I haven't had to take a loan out, thankfully. I loaned myself, but in the long, you know, if I had to take out my retirement, 10 or 20 grand isn't gonna delay my retirement. It's a blip, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's about taking calculated risk, but most importantly, just knowing your values and having those as pillars and not compromising, because I don't wanna sell my soul and taint my business for a short-term gain when I'm in it to win it for the long term.
Yeah, you're in it for the long haul.
I have a second desk in my office, even though I have no employees. I believe in generational companies, so 100 years from now, no one's gonna remember my name, and I'm okay with that. But I sure heck hope that Iron Heart strategy is still a thing, and someone else is carrying on, or multiple people carrying on. The purpose, the drive, the fulfillment, those are the power words. And, you know, when you're compromising your morals, those power words just don't mean as much.
Agreed.
All right, so taking a little bit of a turn, so many entrepreneurs face burnout.
Yeah.
Have you ever faced it? And then how would you help your clients kind of work through those phases of burnout?
Yeah, burnout's a kind of a hot word nowadays. They teach it, they literally teach it in schools.
Yeah.
Literally. I believe in burnout. Have I had it? I don't know what you define burnout as.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people talk about it, but what's your definition? My definition of burnout, if I had to make it up right now on the spot, would just be a lack of vision or clarity. I think coming to work every day for a paycheck and just for a paycheck, not for a higher reason, a higher focus, would be burnout. I know a lot of people that just clock in and clock out.
Yeah.
And I've done that before, and I'm not willing to do that again. So have I had burnout before? I don't necessarily think so. I mean, I've gone through the motions for short stints.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever burnt out. Because I've found goodness or purpose or whatever you want to call it in the work I did.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we forget what we have in front of us. Like this morning, I had a very slow morning. Spent time with my kids. We prayed, went to Starbucks, ate my overpriced sandwich, and had bad service, and they spelled my name wrong. But but I had a very slow morning. I listened to music on the way here and sat in the parking lot for a while. And there's beauty right in front of you. We just in such a hurry sometimes we forget it. So if someone's facing burnout, my advice to you is to slow down, take a step back, and enjoy the beauty you have in it. Whether it's your faith, your spouse, your kids, your success. You know, I think people that have burnout, they have blinders. They have a lens over their eyes, and they can only see the worst things. When we were all born with purpose. You're both mothers. I have 4 kids. I cried every single time I held my kids the first time. It's a sack of meat. They can't speak, they can't provide, they can't do anything. They gave me so much purpose every time.
Yeah.
We were all born with every ounce of purpose we need for our entire life. Why do we forget that though as adults?
Well, I think kind of like you said, I like how you said with burnout, it's almost like kind of losing like that focus. And I don't think burnout necessarily means like, oh, you're tired of your job and you have to move on and your business is awful, things like that. I've experienced burnout, but I think a lot of times it's because I'm just sometimes just moving through those motions, and I forget sometimes like why I love what I'm doing and what my focus is. And so slowing down, making my list, reeling myself in, and then I'm like, okay, I'm good. We're gonna have a better week. You know, I have everything that I need, and we're gonna move forward.
Born with it.
Yeah.
You were born with everything you need.
Yeah.
It's whether we seek the wisdom and whether we can channel it. And having a close circle. I'm a firm believer of you become the average of people you hang out with. I've had to give up friends over the years. I've had to distance myself. And with different phases of life, you need different people to surround yourself with.
Yeah. So I played tennis in high school. Well, in any sport, really, they always say you play to the best of like your weakest player or your weakest opponent. So it never, like, I would always lose to the worst teams because I was almost playing down to their level and letting myself slip. But it was like I performed my best when we were playing up against the best teams. And I always go back to that. I have that one moment playing tennis in high school that I will like never forget. I'm like, how did I lose?
So you do well under pressure.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing.
I love pressure.
Yeah.
We talked about this again the other day in my women's group, and someone was like, I operate the best under chaos. And I was like, oh my gosh, me too.
Were you a procrastinator?
I love chaos.
Like last
yes.
minute. I was that way too.
Yeah.
I think a lot
Like,
of entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just like gets me going, and I'm like, okay, I'm excited. Like, we got to get this done. Like, let's go. I've got 5 days to do it. Nope, I'll wait until this morning. I will wait till this morning to type up our podcast questions.
It's a special breed of person that wants to start their own business. And
Yeah.
take that plunge. And I think a lot of people, you know, maybe labeled as procrastinators or a little crazy or whatever, bipolar or whatever labels you want to put on it. But typically those people are the ones that have the gumption to go and do it themselves.
Yeah.
And just take pride in that.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely am a planner, but I still just like a lot of things going on at one time. I thrive better in that. If I'm just sitting at home on the couch doing nothing, I'm like, I need to be doing something. And that is something I struggle with at home a lot, is like being like, okay, it's okay to relax. Like, I can't rest. Yeah, I'm working on that.
I was gonna say, I think for people like you and me, burnout can be constantly chasing the highs.
Yes,
and then you
I would agree with that.
And then you're like, who am I?
Yeah.
I'm failing.
Yes,
This isn't
I
working
agree with
anymore.
that 100%.
So there's I don't remember his name, he just had a video, he just won some PGA tour and he had an interview. Have you seen this video? Oh, I need to share it with you. It's awesome. But they asked him about his fulfillment of winning the PGA tour, and he's like, I don't care. Made me happy for 30 seconds.
Yeah. And he's probably like, okay, now what's next?
Exactly.
Yes.
I live like that. To your previous question about working in someone else's organization, I was constantly chasing the next raise, the next position, the next role, and it made me happy for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
and then it was like, what's next? In today's society, we're looking for those dopamine hits. And I hate social media. I hate it. I hate it with a passion, but we need it as business owners. The worst is like Instagram and TikTok. You know, you're just
scrolling.
Dopamine. And you actually regulate your brain and train it for constant dopamine hits. So if we talk about burnout again, it's sometimes we're just not getting enough dopamine. You're chasing things, whether it's healthy habits or not.
Yeah. That's when rooting yourself in your purpose and your faith and whatever it may be, that's more than the dopamine hits is important.
Yeah, dopamine's short-lasting chemical, and your body craves it. It's like it's like a drug.
It's human nature.
Right. But faith and foundation, or whatever it is to whoever we're talking to, whatever your foundation is, that's the good stuff. It's a slow burn though. It's not that powerful. It can be. But typically it's that slow trickle.
So I've talked about my journey with sobriety and how that kind of started my business. I know you are also sober. Can you kind of touch on your journey with sobriety?
Yeah, so September 21st will be my 2 years. And
congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we talked about my PTSD before that was undiagnosed. Well, I self-treated with alcohol, and I wasn't a daily drinker, but I was a binge drinker. And it became a problem when my binge drinking turned to daily drinking, and it worked. Drinking worked to cope. It works. That's why it's addictive. But it became a problem. And it took marriage counseling. It took hitting many lows. And finally, I didn't show up to work one day, and I kind of got ratted out. And the owner, who's a great man, he pulled me in in front of a couple other leaders and gave me grace. And he sent me to a men's retreat the next day. And I never spent a whole day with God. Never. And on the way home from the men's retreat, I decided to stop drinking, and I haven't touched a drop since.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it was shame that finally hit it. I mean, it wasn't the fact that my wife was like, we need to go to marriage counseling, or the numerous of lows that I hit that stopped me. It was like pure shame. It was everyone knows that Craig likes to hit the sauce a little hard, you know, and having that stigma. It was that shame of people, you know, of that self-worth that cut deep. And I didn't like people thinking of me that way. Peer pressure, whatever you want to call it. Maybe I care too much about what people think about me, but I'm glad. I'm glad.
Mine was similar, but it wasn't like what everyone's thinking about me. It's what is my daughter gonna think about me? What does my dad think about me? What does my husband think about me? And waking up every weekend with the anxiety and the what did I do last night? What did I say? Who did I upset? I just couldn't do it anymore, and I cried out to God, and like you said, he just takes it away, like the desire. And I'm not gonna lie, I've had like a glass of wine, but I can have a sip of it like at a wedding or something, and then sit it down and not touch it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want it.
Crave it.
I think like I plan on being sober my entire life, or maybe I'll be that angry get off my lawn guy when I'm 80 years old, chucking beers back. But I have no desire to drink. I'm around it all the time. And I was in infantry for 5 years. I have a doctorate in drinking. Okay, that's what we did when we were training. Military did many good things for me. It taught me brotherhood and leadership, but it also teaches a lot of unhealthy habits. And at a young age, you develop, you know, those coping tendencies. And luckily now, the care for veterans is getting slightly better. It's very slow care. But I think for me, it was just, I needed every single drink I had and every low I had to finally realize that enough is enough. And I never respected alcohol. I never did.
No.
You know, I would binge drink, 10, 12, 15, 20 drinks, no problem. And I would have no concept. If the average person saw me drinking 15 drinks, they'd be like,
What's
this
wrong
guy
with
is,
you?
Are you okay?
what's wrong with you? I just thought it was normal. I didn't respect it. Now I respect it, and it has power over me. and I have no desire.
So throughout your career, what's been one of the biggest personal eye-opening moments that has shaped who you are today?
Ooh. Humility. I think maybe just taking a guess, some of us at this table are perfectionists. And I know I used to be perfectionist. Learning humility, that I'm not perfect, and I wasn't created to be perfect either. That was a powerful lesson. At first it was a tough nugget to swallow, but I'm okay with it. It's actually on my tagline. I think when you have humility and it's genuine, it's very attractive to people, and it's very attractive to yourself. So through humility, I learned to forgive myself in my past and give myself grace. I give grace so freely. I mean, somebody could wrong me, and 2 seconds later, I'm like a goldfish. I don't remember. I want to forgive, but I think for me personally, the switch flipped when I learned how to give myself grace.
Really important, yeah.
Well, this has been like our longest
Oh, man.
podcast ever.
Yeah.
Some good stuff.
I know, I
That's what
love
happens when
this.
you get a talkative male. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. They say the females are the top.
I know,
No, I'm just
right?
kidding.
Well.
Well, Craig, thank you so much for joining us on our podcast. It was a pleasure to hear your journey and dive into some really deep topics with you. If you want to tell the audience anything, where to find you, social media, go ahead.
You can find me organically. I have LinkedIn, I have Facebook, Instagram, Iron Arc Strategy. My phone number is 260-433-5763. Just text me. Reach out to one of these lovely
Yes,
ladies.
we will tag you below in the comments if that's okay.
That'd be great.
And then that way, if someone does want to reach out, and even if it's just having a conversation, they can do so.
I love having conversations. I am not pushy with my sales. I think I've finally come to terms of I'm not blasting marketing. I want things I don't want to fit a square in a rectangle. I want things to fit. If someone's out there and they're generally looking for something I can help with, leadership, foundational leadership and fulfillment, I would love the opportunity to help. That's my purpose.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't fit, let's not try to make it fit.
Yeah, perfect. All right, well, we will tag his information below so you can reach out to him if you would like to have a conversation, and we will see you next Monday.
Yes, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thanks.